Back out here in close to Earlton, Kansas today. I came back out here a lot quicker than I expected to, but I'm a lot better prepared today. I'm going to try to get some of these insulators I left behind, including these stars. These 2 stars I left on this pole. I'm going to go on down and see if I can get those old cutouts too. I brought a screwdriver with me today, so see if I got a little bit better luck getting these down, and then I'm going to see about hunting a different section or a little bit more of this section of track and see what else is out here. There we go. Just need that wrench to hold the pin so I get this thing off here. And this pole's got some lean to it. There we go. I got the other one. Hemingway 21's got some damage. This one over here doesn't look bad though. It's the older style. It's got the sharp drip points and the no 21 on the back instead of the dash 21 on the front. Alright, I'm gonna go on down and look at those, see those cutouts are still out here. Back out here at these cutouts. I got one of them down already. Another one's still in there. I'm about to try to get it. It's all it was flathead screws. They held them to the arm. You can see where that one was. But insulator collectors, they usually refer to these, I believe, as fire plug cutouts. Linemen call these suicide boxes. Basically, what it was these are missing them. I kind of looked around the ground stuff around this pole, see if they left them somewhere, but I ain't found them yet. But there was a door that was kind of like a plunger that had the fuse on it, and you just shut that, you just slam that into the bottom of the cutout there. If you look at them, there's kind of like tracks, almost like steel metal tracks, copper tracks that the door would slide into, but it was kind of a plunger style door, and linemen oftentimes referred to these as suicide boxes because you slam that door, and if there's a fault on whatever you were going to, a short circuit or a fault or something, that fuse blew, I mean, that's a lot of times these cutouts would explode, literally, because I mean, it's a porcelain box, and if that fuse blows with any kind of violence, sometimes these whole cutouts would just explode, pretty much shatter. And it wasn't like a regular cutout nowadays where you're using a stick to close it. I mean, they were just a plunger door, and the lineman would have to shut it by hand. So if it blew, that cutout exploded, you're right there next to it. It was a pretty dangerous design, honestly, and that's why they fell out of favor, I guess. They were used, believe it or not, it's rated up to 2,500 volts, some of them were, so they used them up on, 2,400 4160Y systems. I've been pretty dangerous, but 2,400 volt delta systems. But yeah, they were pretty dangerous little cutouts, honestly. And you had the original cutouts that were the bird boxes, is what they called them, and they literally looked like a birdhouse. And they were made out of wood, and the door was on, the fuse was on the door. And those are really early. I've never actually seen one of those physically. But anyway, these porcelain suicide boxes or fire plugs, whatever you want to call them, came right after them. I think Westinghouse, if I remember right, patented these in the teens. I could be wrong about that. But these here are actually, both of these ones on this pole are actually General Electric. They say GE Co on them, the General Electric cutouts instead of Westinghouse. I thought they'd be Westinghouse, but they're actually GE cutouts. Anyway, after these, there was the porcelain, I don't know what, insulator collectors, if they have a name for them, at linemen call them chocolate boxes, chocolate box cutouts. And I'll put a picture in this video of what they look like. I have a small secondary one at home that I found on a different railroad line a few years ago. But they were basically, I think, what replaced these ones. They probably were made simultaneously for a while, but they were basically just a box-shaped cutout. And then, of course, after them, you got the more modern cutouts like we have nowadays. Just a regular, open cutouts. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can get this other one down, and this pole here would have had, there's probably been a set of signals over there by the tracks, and those Thomas insulators you see right there, those had secondary voltages in them, and there's probably a lead going into those cutouts, and the one coming out the bottom, and little knot pole right there. You see this wood conduit that's underneath the bottom of the arm here. There's one on each side. Those leads probably would have come out the bottom of the cutouts and ran through the conduit up to these little metal hook rings. And that hook ring right there, that would have been probably where the drop wire came off to go to the signal itself. So if you need to deactivate the signal, or if there was some fault in it, those cutouts right there would have been the isolation point for that, from the main secondary feeders that have been up on those Thomas insulators to the signal itself. So you can see this is pretty old construction. Over here, those little thingies right there, that kind of like semicircles hanging off the arm, those have been lightning arresters. They're gone now. I don't know. I haven't seen them laying around, so I guess they're gone. They've been taken, but those have been old, maybe glass or small porcelain lightning arresters. So if lightning struck the line anywhere in this area, it would have gone to the ground there before it hit the signal and fried it. Or that was the goal, at least. So anyway, I'm gonna get this other cutout down, and we'll see what else we got out here. Alright, I got this other one down now. So I got both of them. I got some glass too. So yeah, this is a suicide box. So most of these were made, I believe, by Westinghouse. I could be wrong about that, but this one here's General Electric Company. And the patent date is actually right down here on the bottom. Patented January the 16th, 12. So 1912, I guess, is the patent date on these. But looking down here at the bottom, you can see what I was talking about here. The can't really, the sunlight's kind of screwing me. This that left side there, that's where your primary lead would have gone in. The right side's where your primary lead would have gone out. You can see the little holes. The plunger style went right down into that, almost what looks like a pinhole. And you can see the little copper slots, one on the left side on the top and the one on the right and the bottom, where it would have locked in. And that fuse would have been on the door in between those 2 points. So that fuse blew, we can close it in, man, you'd be right there on it. Anyway, I'm gonna walk on down these tracks past where I've hunted before and see if I can't find any more stars and old Crown and Boss Brookfields, maybe some more of these old cutouts, now that I got more tools and I've got a little bit more daylight today. Back here in the area I haven't hunted yet, found another light green aqua Brookfield. This one's got a little 7 on the dome. Film me getting it was off this pole right here, but I'm still pretty close to this road, so I'll keep walking. Hopefully some more stars will come up. More of these light aqua brookfields. It's a nice pretty star. It was on this pole here. And believe it or not, it wasn't stuck on the pin at all. It came right off. But there's a new CD number on this pole. That's a Hemingway D510 right there on the end of the arm. And then there's another light aqua brookfield right there. So, and the star was up here on the top arm. So I'm gonna try to get these two, that D510 and that other light aqua brookfield off this. Bled some nice pieces. Yeah, Hemingway D510. Found these before, but that'd be different for this line. I hadn't found one of them on this line yet. There's light aqua brookfield and another nice pretty star insulator. So keep going. $19.27 on this pole. They said it in early 27. This pole was set 95 years ago. But there might be, I think there's a couple good insulators on it. So I'm gonna go look. Nice tall dome star here. The skirt's shattered. Pretty dark aqua brookfield, but down here there's a early HGco, I believe, HGco petticoat. A mold, it looks like. Yep. This is like the one I found way down in yeah, get it up here. Way over in Iowa that one time, Carlisle, I guess. But this one's got HGco on the front, and petticoat on the back, and it's got an A, letter A underneath that. This is more of a, that one I found was light blue. That was in Carlisle. This one here is more of a kind of a light green aqua color. I'll call this light green aqua. Actually, I thought it was a brookfield from the ground. Those light green aqua crown embossed brookfields. That's an early HGco petticoat. I don't have very many of these, so get it. I saw the set of signals here. I came down here and somebody whacked this pole off at some point. But they left behind one of the old cutouts. It's another General Electric one. This one here came right out. Its cross arm's pretty rotten. Yeah, it's the same as those other two I got. So, yeah, I don't know what happened here. This pole, somebody sawed it off here. It came down. They took, looks like all the glass off it. Yeah, all the glass is long gone. But they got one of the cutouts too, it looks like. But left one behind, so lucky me, I got it. I'll make the third suicide box today. And I just have one Westinghouse one at home that I bought at an Insulator show, I believe, several years ago. These are my first General Electric ones. But this railroad track for here is not traveled too often, but it is active. Like I said, it was it's the South Kansas and Oklahoma Railroad nowadays. But this line was built in 1872 by a company called the Leavenworth, Lawrence and Galveston Railroad, and it was bought by Santa Fe pretty quickly. So this line's an old Santa Fe line. It would have been most of its life. Remains of, oh boy, I don't know what's all in there. I don't know what all this would have been, honestly. I mean, I'm assuming the signal would have been bolted right there. And I don't know if this is one of those stations that had the batteries in them, like the battery boxes, because I know these old signal lines, they fed vaults like this that had glass batteries, I believe, that sat in them for the signals. So I'm guessing that's what this is. There's something right here. I mean, that's just ventilation, I don't know. And I'm guessing this here would have been where the wires came up to go inside the signal. There's something else here. This would have been, there's porcelain lightning arresters or whatever those are right there, right under this hole. So I don't know, maybe this is where the post came up that had the drop wire came up to. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about railroad communication and signaling, so I couldn't really tell you. But it's interesting for sure. So we'll keep heading down the tracks. We're heading towards Earlton right now. This pole here's got a couple tall dome stars on it. Grab them real quick. I didn't see anything too interesting on this pole until I looked out on the wires. There was a star insulator tied onto the wire that was just hanging up there in midair. Perfect condition. So this one's a nice one. It's got a lot of little fizz in it, little bubbles. So a good deal. I'm gonna keep heading down the line, I guess. I'm getting pretty close to town now, so we'll see what else we can get. Took off of this pole. That ended up being a big snowdrift. Feet and legs are covered in snow now. But this pole here's got something different on it. I can't really see it very good from the ground now. It looks like a beehive, but it's really like a clearish color. So I'm gonna go up there and see what that is. There's a bunch of stuff here on the ground. I think it's just 42s. That's a piece of a 40 there. But this here looks like a newer pole, maybe. I mean, these are all old. But I don't know what that means. It's a 45-foot pole, or if it was 1945. This could be a 45-foot pole. I don't know. It's probably at least a 40. Anyway, I'm gonna go up there and I'll start filming and see what that is. It looks like a beehive of some sort. Yeah, sure enough is a beehive. It's an old, it's a HG coat petticoat. J mold on this one. The color's really odd. I'm trying to figure out the color. Just a really light, I guess off clear. I don't know. It's almost, you first look at it was up here, it's almost a pinkish color. But when you hold it over here, it's more of a, kind of got more of a greenish aqua cast. I don't know. It's almost colorless, almost clear, but I don't know. I don't know how rare that is. I don't know my insulators like I used to. It's got a chip right there. Kind of a little bit of a bruise. But different color than what I've seen on them. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to call it color-wise goes. Because when you hold it in the light just right, it's almost a light purple color. But I definitely wouldn't call it light purple though. If it was, that'd be a really rare insulator. But it's kind of got a greenish tint to it, I guess. So I guess I'll call it off clear. I don't know. This is a tall pole. This is kind of a crossing right here. And these poles go way up over this road. Getting pretty close to Earlton, Kansas now, so I'll head on down the tracks and see what else is here. Yeah, I got it on the ground now. And I guess it's kind of an ice green or off clear. I don't know what I'd call it really. but it's definitely got kind of a greenish cast to it. So it's a pretty insulator. Someone sawed this pole off, but it didn't go nowhere. It just fell in this tree and got stuck. Right there was a, it's definitely by the color of it, you can tell it's one of those early HG petticoat beehives, but it's completely shattered. Everything else on this pole's, there's a modern HG beehive, and there's number 40s and 42s. So, back off over there's an old wood trestle over that creek. It's definitely an old one. Top of a crown embossed Brookfield on this pole. Over here to this pole. This is a first for me. There's like little bitty lightning arresters on this pole here. They look like donuts. They're little bitty disc-shaped lightning arresters. So, insulator wise goes, there ain't nothing too good on this pole. But shoot, it looks, I'm trying to figure out how those are mounted. Looks like they've got little plates that hold them on the arm with little carriage bolts that go for the arm to hold it on. So I've got that crescent wrench. The nuts aren't completely rusted on there. I'll see if I can get those. This pole's gonna be, yeah, nah, it won't be too bad to get to, I guess. Oh, it's had something on it. That looks like big staples they use for conduit. So, and then there's straps on that bottom arm. Oh, there was conduit or something, but it's not a double arm. There's no remains of cutouts. So, I'll see about getting those lightning arresters though. Those are cool. Well, I managed to get them both down. They're secondary lightning arresters, but these are made by Westinghouse in 1945. Auto valve. 151 to 500 volts. Secondary. Kind of interesting. You can see where the lead would have been, secondary lead, and then your ground right there in the middle. And these already came with the leads in the lightning arrestor. So, kind of unusual. Yeah, 1945 on those, so not quite as old as I thought they might be, but I don't know what people call these. Looking at them, I'll call them a donut arrestor. So I call them a donut. But I don't know. Don't know what nicknames they've got, but that's new one for me. I've seen those old style Westinghouse auto valve arresters before, but I hadn't seen the secondary ones like that. So I didn't recognize what they even were at first. That's pretty cool though. So I'll getting ready to call her a day. I'm losing daylight, so I'll keep heading down the tracks though, and maybe find a couple more finds before the day's done. Came to another double dead end pole, and right here at the end of the arm there's some screws sticking out. So that's definitely the same screws as what held those cutouts in back there. So I'm gonna assume somebody took a hammer to them. There's wood conduit on the side of the arm on this one. I can't really see what all's up there insulator wise on the ground, so I'll probably go up there and see what we got. There's you some old wood steps. It looks like they just took one of those wood toll side pins and sawed the top off them, used them as a step. So that's kind of interesting. And here on the ground I got porcelain Thomas, and then a couple more of those lightning arresters. I think these ones here on the ground are damaged though. So we see what we got on the pole. Yeah, those are all newer insulators on that pole. It's Armstrong DP1, stuff like that. But these two lightning arresters there on the ground, I think are broken. At least the leads are yanked out of them. So it's a shame there's no more cutouts on this pole. I don't know what happened to the ones that were up there. But anyway, it's almost dark now, so that's probably be the end of today. But there's been a lot of good finds today, and it's been a real good day. I found a bunch of stars, there's more Brookfields. Those two HG coat petticoats are awesome, especially that one. I put them side by side, and that one had a nice green color to it, and the other one was it's a lot different color. It was definitely not nearly as green as that other one was, so I don't know what I would call it. Maybe off clear. I don't know. I'm not very good at colors on insulators, but very, very light green color. So, I also bought a new insulator, and I'll go ahead and post a video of it right here. Yeah, I got a purple HG signal, and it had some damage, but that was actually the first insulator I bought in a long time. So it's been about 3 years since I bought an insulator, but I finally saw that one on eBay and I couldn't resist it. I got what I thought was a pretty good deal on it, so worked out pretty good for me anyway. So I'll probably get going here. Thank you all for watching this video.